Hi, today we're going to be looking at the difference between the iLife A4 and the Xiaomi robot vacuum. If you're torn between the two, obviously there's a huge price difference between the Mi robot vacuum and the iLife A4. And both of these robots have their strengths and weaknesses. And we'll start with the obvious size difference here. The A4 is slightly shorter than the Mi robot vacuum, and the Mi robot vacuum is wider, so that means it will not the A4 will fit in more areas inside your room. And the A4 has pretty much an old tech navigation system where it uses IR, infrared sensors all around here. The front bumper has infrared sensors all around it, which basically lets it know when there's an obstacle, and when it detects an obstacle, it will slow down, try to avoid it. And I'll post a link on the video of the navigation of the A4 and the Xiaomi. The iLife A4 also has drop sensors here all around the front. It has 3 drop sensors, and it has 2 side brushes here, and obviously it has the main motorized brush. The Mi robot vacuum has a much high-tech navigation system. Right here in the middle is the LDS sensor, or the laser distance sensor. This sensor rotates 360 degrees at 1,800 times a second to create a map in its memory of the room. So this sensor tells the robot the perimeter area where it cleans first. It cleans the perimeter first before it goes in a predictable back and forth motion. This robot has a similar navigation pattern as the Nido Bot Vac. And when you look underneath, let's flip this over here. And you look underneath here, just move this side here. This robot only has one side brush and 4 drop sensors here. It also has a speed sensor here underneath the wheels, and it has also a brush roll here. It has a motorized brush roll, and let's compare the brush roll between these two. Let's just take this off. Take out the brush roll of the Mi robot vacuum and the brush roll of the iLife. I'll just pull them out and let you see how the size difference here. Obviously, the Mi robot vacuum has a wider cleaning brush, around 25% or 20% longer, and it's much wider. It has the squeegee. To go along with the bristled brush here. In terms of stiffness, I'd say both of these are are the same stiffness wise, and we just put this back here. And since the Mi robot vacuum has a wider cleaning path, it will be more efficient in terms of cleaning, in terms of the area it cleans, and it will, when you combine that with its navigation, it will clean much faster than the A4. It will finish cleaning an area much faster than the ILIFE A4, and it has much larger wheels here. Obviously it's much wider, and it's color white, and it also has a bumper here, but this bumper is primarily for detecting obstacles in front of it, like chairs or furniture, and it avoids it, and it's really an upgrade, a big upgrade over the A4 navigation wise. Some people may prefer the random navigation because it's more thorough. But if you have a large home, if you have a larger home with, let's say, 3 or 4 rooms, I would, and you would just like to set and forget, just turn on the robot and forget about monitoring it. The Mi robot vacuum actually will perform better because it has a more systematic approach in cleaning, in navigating around more rooms, and it will find its home base. Let me just click upon the home button here. It will find its home base after it cleans everything, and the navigation system really is light years ahead of the A4. And the Mi robot vacuum does not have any remote. While the A4 has this remote here. The Mi robot vacuum uses an app-based remote, which you can download through the App Store or the Play Store for Android devices. And the Mi robot vacuum does not have any extra side brushes or filters, and so far none is for sale in the GearBest website, but it does come with this cleaning brush here. This is their brush cleaning tool. Let's compare it to the brush cleaning tool of the A4. It's completely different. This one doesn't have any bristles. It only has a comb and a blade here in this area. And when you compare the charging base, obviously the Mi robot vacuum has a much larger charging base. Let me just show it to you. Let's just compare it. Let's compare the charging base with the Mi. This is the A4 charging base. This is the Xiaomi. The Xiaomi's charging base is obviously larger. These are the 2 charging pins. This is really similar to the Nido's charging base. The A4's charging base is smaller. These are the charging pins that connect to the robot, and the Mi robot vacuum's charging base has a storage for the cord, but it will not store the entire length of the cord, just part of it. Just helps you tidy it up better. And the A4 surprisingly has a bigger dirt bin than the A4. If you look at the dirt bin of the A4 here, it's substantial. It covers around a third of the body of the A4. And this is the dirt bin of the robot vacuum. Let's just, for sake of comparison, let's compare the size here. You see, obviously you can see that the Mi robot vacuum is a much smaller bin. Well, not really much smaller, but a smaller bin. And though it has a larger HEPA filter here when you compare it to the A4's HEPA filter. And this is the bin of the A4 here. It has 3 filters. It has the mesh filter, and it has a foam filter covering the HEPA filter here. So it has 3 levels of filtration. The Mi robot vacuum only has one filter here, the HEPA filter here, and I'd say the difference would be around 0.03 milliliters. I don't have the exact size of the dirt bin in front of me, but I'll post it in the description below. And you'll see here that the Mi robot vacuum has Wi-Fi connectivity. ILIFE does not have it, so you can use an app to control this robot, which means whether you're out of the house, you can ask this robot to clean using the app and schedule it using the app. And which one is better? I would say it depends. If you have a home that's large, let's say 4 or 5 rooms, I would go with the Mi robot vacuum because it's much more efficient. It has a larger battery. It has a longer run time of around 2.5 hours compared to the 2 hours of. It's not a big difference, but the Mi robot vacuum's navigation system is much more sophisticated than the A4. It actually remembers the areas it has cleaned, and it only cleans them, and it cleans in overlapping patterns. But it's not as thorough as the A4. You would want the A4 if you would clean on a per room basis, which means you would actually physically move the charging station from one room to another and let it clean. I would let this clean 2 rooms or 3 at most, because the larger the area, the bigger the chance that the A4 will get lost. But if you don't mind moving it around, I would get the A4, and it comes with 2 extra side brushes and an extra filter. The A4, the Xiaomi allows you to schedule more than once per day. You can schedule it 3 or 4 times or 5 times if you want to. So if you're a neat freak and you don't want to move around the charging station, and just let it clean on its own, the Mi robot vacuum actually does a good job at it. It's not as thorough as the A4. I've done a cleaning test and the A4 did better than the Xiaomi on a bigger mess, because of the cleaning pattern, of the random cleaning pattern of the A4. But in real world situations where you will not clean as big a mess, I would spend the extra $200+ on the Mi robot vacuum But if you don't mind moving this around, I would go with the A4. If you have any more questions about these two products here, how they differ, just let me know in the comment section below.